Hey, a good question was asked on my video 45 just a few days ago by Dennis. He's interested to know how can I compare Zerocracy with the other freelance platforms like TopTal or Upwork. I was on those platforms for more than 10 years. I started to work when it was elance.com, when it was odesk.com, freelance.com, Get a Freelancer. There were many of them at that time. I have a lot of experience on working on Upwork. I was working as a freelancer, like writing code. That was a long time ago. And I was getting freelancers from there. And we sometimes get them from there as well for Zerocracy. So I can easily compare those approaches, Zerocracy and those freelance platforms. How they work. On Upwork, for example, what you do is that you post your ad, you explain what your project needs to have, what are the requirements, you explain what kind of programmers you're looking for, and then you get many resumes, then you get many profiles. People just submit their profiles, and then you have to choose which one is better for you. You make some calls, you talk to them, you discuss, you see the portfolio, you judge them somehow as much as you can do that. If you are a programmer, if you're not, then you just look at their nice pictures and you make phone calls and you choose the one which you trust more, and then you start working with them. And the platform helps you a little bit. Like Upwork, for example, they require freelancers to install some software on their computers, and the software is supposed to track their screens and they make screenshots to prove to you that they're actually working on something which you told them to work on, if you pay them for the time. Or you can hire them and pay by result. In that case, you give them some piece of work and then you agree that it's going to cost $200, for example, and when they complete, you check the results and you pay them, or you claim to Upwork that the job was not completed, and then the funds do not go to freelancers. That's the way you control your process. That's the way you manage people there. So you either trust them and you trust those screenshots, or you make sure that everything they do goes for fixed cost contracts, which is quite difficult if you really want to develop something big. So that model for fixed cost works only for really small contracts, like find me 100 contacts on the internet, find me 100 emails, or send an email to those addresses, or create me this logo, or create me this small picture, something like that. But if you're looking for long-term development and you want some project to be created, some piece of software over the course of 3, 4, 5 months, then you don't go for fixed cost. You go for incremental payment model, pay by time. And then it's your job to control and to manage this process. You as a customer have to know what those people are doing, what those freelancers are working with. You have to give them tasks. You have to tell them what to do. You have to have some sort of a schedule in front of you. You need to know the scope of work. You need to know how to control the quality of them. You need to know how to calculate the amount of money they spend, if you want to manage things. If you don't want, if you just want to trust them and just pay as much as they claim, in that case, of course, you don't need any management. But if you really want to control things and if you really want to manage your team, then it's your job. It's your responsibility as a client. You have to do it. They're not going to do it. You can hire a manager, of course. You can hire a group of freelancers and the manager on top of them, and then the manager will do that job for you. In that case, the team will be managed team. If you don't get the manager, if you get just programmers, then it's unmanaged team. That's how all freelance platforms work, starting from Upwork, which is the biggest one. Zerocracy is not a competitor to those platforms. Zerocracy is the next level on top of them. We find people on Upwork sometimes. When we have a project which doesn't have enough resources, doesn't have enough programmers, then we go to Upwork and promote ourselves there. And then we say, hey guys, we have something to work for you, come to us. And we even pay them through Upwork sometimes. We don't do it now, but that was the case for many years before. Zerocracy provides the management level on top of freelancers. You as a customer, you get your freelancers, you get your good programmers somewhere. You can find them on Zerocracy pool of developers, or you can find them on Upwork, you can find them among your friends, doesn't matter. You have some people. And then you need a management layer. You need to make sure that your team is under control. You somehow need to control the scope, the budget, the quality, the risks, many things, which you may control yourself. That's option number 1, if you know how to do that. You can hire a manager. That's option number 2, if you know where to find that manager, and you can guarantee that the manager, the human being, will be able to control a remote group of developers sitting in different places 24/7. Then Good luck with that. Try to find that manager. Or option number 3, you can get Zerocracy and computer, an AI, a robot, which will do that work for you. Not just a robot, but the entire platform with the policy, with the rules of work, with the formula which we give to freelancers. So you get us the team of freelancers, or you find those freelancers on Zerocracy, and then on top of those people, we put the management layer. So we are not a competition to Upwork. We don't help people recruit freelancers. This is not the job we do. We're just the next layer on top of them. You find your people on Upwork, bring those people to us, and make them work according to the rules of Zerocracy. That's the difference. That's where we are. That's our market position. Thanks for asking the question, Dennis. That was a really good question. Stay tuned. Bye-bye.